Let me give you an example of the demand schedule, individual as well as market, in the tabular presentation. Supposing this is the price of the commodity, 2 rupees, 4 rupees, 6 rupees and 8 rupees. And this is consumer X. At 2 rupees he is buying 4, at 4 rupees 3, at 6 rupees 2, at 8 rupees 1. This is consumer Z, that is at 2 rupees he was buying 5, at 4 rupees he was buying 4, at 6 rupees he is buying 3, at 8 rupees he is buying 2. So this is the price of the commodity and this is the individual demand schedule, or this is what an individual is buying at a given price. But then there is a demand schedule of the market, which is the collective of the individual demands. So 4 plus 5 makes it 9, 3 plus 4 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5 and 1 plus 2 is 3. Which means that the market schedule at 2 rupees is 9, at 4 rupees is 7, at 6 rupees is 5 and 8 rupees is 3. So that's the difference between the individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule at a given price. Now next what we have to see is the change in quantity which takes place and how does it affect the demand. The change in quantity makes a difference in the expansion and contraction of a demand. Supposing again and again, if the price of a commodity is increasing, then what happens? Then there is a contraction in the demand. If the price of a commodity is decreasing, then there is an expansion in the demand. That's the change in the quantity schedule that we have. But what are those different causes which make a shift in the demand, increase or decrease, expansion or contraction? How does it happen? Which are the other factors? The factors of course remain are, there is an increase in the demand of a commodity when the income of a consumer rises. There is a decrease in the demand of a commodity when there is a decrease in the income of a consumer. So this is the demand increase, this is the demand decrease. Then we have the price of the substitutes. If the price of the substitute increases, then the demand for a commodity increases. But when the price of the substitute decreases, there is a decline in the demand. When there is a fall in the price of a complementary good, then there is an increase in the demand. But when there is a rise in the price of a complementary good, then there is a decrease in the demand of a commodity. If the taste and preferences of the consumer comes in favor of the commodity, then there is a rise in the demand. If the taste and preferences of an individual go against the commodity, that is the time that there is a decrease in the commodity, demand of a commodity. So now you know that there is one called as the individual demand, then there is a market demand which is the sum total of all the individual demands, and the change in quantity keeps on taking place, the extension or what we call as the expansion and contraction. Besides, there are various causes making increase in the demand of a commodity or decrease in the demand of a commodity, varying on the income, the price of the substitute, the price of the complementary goods and the taste and preferences of the individual. Most of the students get confused between decrease in demand and the contraction in demand. Remember, there is a big difference between decrease in demand and contraction in demand, though they look same, and the major differences are when there is a decrease in the demand, it refers to the shift of a demand curve. There is a total shift, but the contraction of a demand, it is referring to the movement along the demand curve. Then when the decrease in a demand takes place, it gets affected due to various factors. It could be fall in the income of an consumer. It could be because of the fall in the substitute price. It could be because of the rise in the complementary goods. All these factors will make the decrease in demand. But the contraction in demand will only come when there is a rise in the price. No other factors can affect or make contraction in the demand. It will be only by the rise in price. Then, this decrease in demand is defined as a fall in the demand at the same price. The prices have not increased, but there is a fall in the demand, whereas contraction takes place when there is a fall. It occurs only because of the rise in the price. So, here in contraction, the major factor affecting is just the price and price alone, whereas demand decrease gets affected by the income of the consumer, price of the substitute good, price of the complementary goods, and so on. So, that was all about your chapter. Thank you.